We will write a beautiful soup code to extract these. Okay. Now data what we got, we will create an object of that data into beautiful soup. This is an HTML parser. We will pass it and we will find the div with the name class Kottayam with the ID Kottayam. Wait, here I will show you. See, div ID is Kottayam. I have to find this, so this is the format how I can give soup dot find. What I have to find div. This is the format in which beautiful soup takes, and in the dictionary format I have to pass ID and the ID name. ID name is Kottayam. This is the format in which beautiful soup finds the data. So execute this and see what you got. Type div here. Now only that division is coming, right? Where div ID is Kottayam, and that data we got. Now to find table rows of this. Table rows. Under that div, if I'll give find all table rows, I will be having only this data remaining and above will be gone. Right? So I will come here and I will give under this div find all table rows. This is the one table row. Okay. This is the other table row in which data is stored. See, if I'm hovering, these are the table rows, right? Under this division, these many rows are there, in under which data is there. See, like I wanted to check what came in my data. I've given here data. It showed me what is there in my data. Similarly, you can do. Now, I will find all my table names, table rows in under that data, and I will store it in table row. Now let's see what is there in my table row. This is my table row. Okay, this is my table rows, what I got in that data. Everything is now filtered out. I'm left with these table rows in the data. How will is extract the data? Data is there in under TD. You can see TD here open, TD is closed. In under that TD, my data is stored. And one table row is having multiple TDs, table data. You see, one table row is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 TDs. Okay, so we will be executing this in the for loop for storing the data properly. This is my table rows, the data which I got. Now what I will do, I will make an empty list which I will be appending it in a loop. For row in table rows, I will extract those elements. Find all TD. Okay. Find all TD when I will do for one table row, I will do find all TD. Wait, let me again reclose it and open. Okay, for one table row, I will do find all TD. So these 5 table data I will be having. Now I have to extract these. How I will extract this? I will give table.text with td.text. Whenever you are left with some kind of suppose td and suppose here text is there and again td. If it is a beautiful soup object, you can always give soup Suppose you have stored this data into one beautiful soup object. So data.txt, when you will give data.text, when you are left over with this element, only this dot txt. Suppose your data is equals to like this. This is the soup data object. When you will give, so it will extract the text. It will return you data is equals to text. So that's what we have reduced up to. Under this table row, multiple TDs are there. Now we are left with such type of format. This is open and this is closed. In between data is there. So if I'll give this data.txt in for loop, it will extract all the data for me. Now let's see the code. Have found all these table rows are with me. Okay, in that these table rows are there. Under these table rows, multiple TDs are there. Like this. This is the format. Now I'm trying to extract this. This is the date. See, I want to extract. So I'm giving it in a for loop. This is how I've done. Columns find all TD. When it found all TD, you can wait. Let's execute one line. So we are extracting this table data from our for loop. Wait. Take a new cell. Here we are having table rows, all the rows we have. This is the data which we have in our table row. Now if I'll do table rows dot find all table data, in between which my data is there, what this is what I will get. Okay, so I'm finding I need to execute it on in for loop, else it will give me error. It's a kind of list and treating it as a one element. Yeah, multiple TDs are there. So no other way, we have to execute it in a for loop, because under this table rows, multiple TR are there. See, this one, this one, this one, this one. It's a kind of list, a very big list, and I'm treating it as a one object. That's why it's giving me error. So this is the way how to you can extract the table. One row you have to find all TD. Here table its data is there under TD. In one table row I've clicked, 5 TDs are there. Now I have to store this in a one list. So .txt, if I convert it into text, and I will make this one table row as a one list. So multiple list will be there by end of this loop, and I will append those lists one on each other. See what we are doing. I'm explaining you here. So these are our table rows. TR, TR. In one table row, 5 TD are there. 5 TD table data. So this is for every table row. Like this, some data is stored in this table. So we are selecting one table row. So this much data we will get in one loop. One iteration we will be having this data for row in table rows. Okay, so it will select this much data. One table row is consist with 5 columns of this data. So for this data we will be having one loop. Okay, find all TD in that one table row. So it will remove this, find all TD, we will be left with this table data like this. Data is like this in between our TD. Okay. So for one loop it's like this. Table data, in between text is there, in between text is there which we are interested to extract. In between this all text are there. Okay, it found all the table rows. Now again we will run a for loop on this. Now we are left with this much of data, and this text I want to extract in between the from between these two table data, this table data field. Okay, what I will do, for element in text dot strip, suppose text is written like this, here it is a space or something, if it is like something, so strip means after x dot txt means it will extract the text data from that td. One at a time it will select for it will run for the columns, right? Columns we got this much of td, 5 td, and for one iteration it will run and it will convert .txt means this text data will be extracted here, this text data will be extracted here, likewise. Okay, now it will become a list. When the data will extracted, it will be like td will be removed. After this iteration only text will be remaining, so this will become a one list of text elements. After this iteration only text will be remaining. This became a list. In the next iteration again also this table data it will extract all these text. I am appending these list one on each other. So this is suppose became list 1. This will become, the data will come from this will become list 2. I'm appending all the lists here. What I will get here is the data. See, in this format. Understood what we are doing? I copy its full path instead of its x path. Prithvi, see, try to inspect. Okay, after inspecting, click and copy full x path. That is what I told you in that tutorial which I was showing you. Here you paste it. Now you paste its path. Inspect, copy full path. This is for domestic and this is for international. Now you see the difference under this HTML body second division, under the after entering into second div, enter the third div. After entering the third div, you enter the second division. After that div, the absolute path is changed, right? I've told you in your computer system, doesn't matter if you have kept the same file name in some other folder and the same file name in other folder, it will take, right? Here the path is different. Path is different, right? That's why XPath it takes. See, if you will copy XPath of this international, what it says, it is telling find all ID, find all the elements with ID tab info. Okay, under which you go to division 4, division 2, or again division 4, division 3, and A1. Go click there. And if you will try to analyze, it's this first path. Copy its XPath. This one. See, location are changed, right? So it is not taking on the same link. Links are different, but at the different location. Maybe must be same, but they are at the different location. Prithvi, is it clear? Is it only possible to make crawler using XPath only? Yes. XPath you can define. No, Amit, I think I missed you. Wait. You can find it by the element ID also, but this is the easiest way to do it. That's why I've told you that. Suppose you want to find this element, okay, and you want to use here class. Here class is given. Amit, I'm telling you, you have asked question. I want to find this element without my XPath. Okay, path will be there, but I will find this element by class or some other thing. So do Control F for finding. Find. It is not coming. Some issue is with my browser. Find is not coming. Find A. Sorry, let me show you here. Like we have given find element by XPath, right? You type here somewhere driver dot find by multiple other things you can find with element. If ID is unique, but you should have proper understanding of the HTML structure or the HTML language, then you can use this ID, find element by ID, find element by class name, and many other things. Okay, so you see now dot find element by class name, ID, text, CSS selector, many are there. So you can find the element with other objects as well. How you will do class name? If I have to find that class name, and then only that class name you have to give. But I've told you class can be shared with the multiple elements. So it's not the best way to find with the class. If in your scenario it's the only element which is having the same class, you can use. Else you have to find by ID if there are multiple elements. Like find element by ID tab info. I will do. but I need to again write this code here. So this is the way you can locate that element without using XPath. Use ID, use class name. This is the ID, right? Just give here ID. But best way is to use XPath. It's reliable.